Good afternoon, this is Dominic with TheBackVlog. Recently, I finished volume 11 of Tokyo Ghoul. I'm almost done with this series, and perhaps by the end of the year, I will have it finished. This is a really good volume. My takeaways from here are the fight between Shiro and Suzuya, which, by the way, Kuro and Shiro, their names are just black and white. And that's how I remember them, because that's what their, their hair is black and white. But, their backstory is really intriguing. The Kuro and Shiro are also coming from the CCG, just like Suzuya is. Suzuya is the crazy, like, threaded dude who just loves murdering. And their fight is really brutal and very heartfelt, because they do have like a past, and the outcome of the fight it's pretty sad, and I'm interested to see like where it's going to go. Now that's just like a whole other thread that I don't know how Tokyo Ghoul, or I guess Sui Ishida, is going to tackle with the remainder of it, because there's only 3 volumes left, and only so much can happen in a volume, and there seems to be like a lot going on. Toka hasn't been around for like the past 3 volumes, maybe like a scene or 2, but with the Rise reveal in the previous volume, like there's just a lot going on, and I'm curious how a bow is going to be wrapped on it in such a short amount of time. There is another dilemma with Kaneki and his inner turmoil. He's losing control, and he is incredibly traumatized. He almost kills one of his friends. And I'm reading this scene in the middle of a very public place. I'm sitting in a cafe, and as I'm reading it, I'm thinking about like where Kaneki, like just the beginning of the story, how he used to be just a curious college student who loved reading. And then, I'm thinking about like all the torture he went through and everything. And it's so fucked up, the stuff that he goes through here. And he's so remorseful for, having almost killed one of the people he's close to, even though, in the end, it didn't amount to much physically, but emotionally, like that was really a heart-wrenching scene for him. And it really does have me worried about, once he essentially abandoned his human side, and it's really sad to see the trajectory of this character. And once Amon like starts to come in and have more interactions with him, I'm curious to see like where that conflict is going to go. They do meet again here, but if I remember correctly, it's cut short, so they don't really get to have the philosophical discussion that this whole thing is leading up to. And I have Shiono introduction written down as well. I don't remember who Shiono is. I believe she's the author of one of the books that Kaneki likes, or like is like Kaneki's favorite book or something, which is, one of the early things that the series even discusses. I believe that's what Kaneki and Rise initially bond over. And I'm really interested to see how she's going to play a whole part in this story, because now she's thinking about writing a story about a ghoul. And having met Kaneki without really knowing that he was a ghoul, it sounds like either she's onto him or she's just coincidentally taking an interest in that. So we'll see where that goes. And I don't remember the name of Kaneki's friend, but he comes to the book signing as well, being held by Shiono, Nagachika. He goes there and introduces himself as Kaneki, despite the fact that Kaneki was just there 5 minutes ago. So now she's suspicious of him. And I guess by proxy, maybe Kaneki. So yeah, I'm really interested to see where that whole plot thread is going to be headed to. And that's like another thing that they add into this late into the series, which I don't know how it is going to be approached. But time will tell. And I'm very excited.